Is it possible to turn life into a game? Can you turn your perception and understanding of life into a game? Turn it into a game, learn with pleasure, and keep going, remembering you can never be sure or complete it. Add new habits and drop old ones over time with gentle pushing. Never aim for money or self-fulfillment. The former is an afterthought, the latter an impossible and empty conceit. The beauty is not in arriving but in traveling and enjoying the journey. In a world where there is already death, everything is very pleasurable, and as Nietzsche said, one should die at the right time. Knowing that you will always be incomplete, you should not lose the joy and wonder of a child. The play attempts to break the delusion of presence and belonging with a performative delusion. It's possible to break and eliminate the delusion that our presence in the world gives us through the delusion of play. Social roles can change in play, spaces can change in play, and ourselves can shift in play. In this sense, play is like a pilgrimage. It breaks the delusion of existence and locality. Pilgrimage and play are renouncing the mortal, giving up the mundane and letting yourself go with the flow. In Latin, peregrinus, pilgrim, hajj means stranger and exile. One who sets out for a purpose is a stranger and exile. When we play, we are detached from reality and exiled by the pleasure and flow of the game. We become strangers to reality when we play. Playing games is a religious motif. This is why religions are rooted in art. Shamans wear masks and engage in a theatrical ritual. They dance. As religion loses its playfulness and becomes severe, it becomes oppressive. In the beginning, religion is play and art. When you say, have a good game to a child who will play, you say, have a good trip, because to enter into the excitement of play is to break away from the grand delusion that you think is real, from life and your homeland. Making it a game is not all pleasure and happiness. Losing is also part of the game. You are destined to lose your whole life if you get ambitious and ugly, even in the most miniature game. Because the important thing in the game is not losing or winning. It is the life awareness you gain while the game continues. What you feel when you lose, when you realize you are going to lose. You should be filled with fear, but you should be able to make fun of that fear. The same goes for winning. You cannot win or lose anything because you are in a world of that. As we speed up, we sacrifice play and experience. Whatever we speed up, we sacrifice the experience. With it, we gain time, whatever that means, and sacrifice development and change. We save time, but we live our whole lives compressedly. To increase speed is to sacrifice experience. Those who went on pilgrimage in the past had tremendous knowledge because they walked or rode on horseback. When you go by aeroplane, you go fast but don't become a scholar. In a world where everybody lives in a village, you become a scholar when you complete the pilgrimage with slow steps and think about what you have experienced as you walk. Of course, it is challenging today, but at least in our lives, we need to slow down and abandon the goal of money or status while deepening in some areas. Our time calls it a hobby. I don't have enough free time to have a hobby. But I have serious work that is not about money or status. I have several work that seems absurd and empty to those around me. I can understand from a sociological and anthropological point of view why some of what I do seems ridiculous to them. My desire to gain experience becomes permanent when combined with play. Pleasure and excitement make the experience last in my memory. I know the joy of reading. When Muhammad is told to read in the cave, the verse ends with biology. I understand how a person's relationship with time and self evolves when he is in a dark and uncommunicative cave for 180 days. Cipher experiment. The bending of time is the bending of the self. Man is a being that receives revelation. Chosenness determines the limits of revelation. Slowing down and seclusion increase the rate of revelation. Meditation increases the rate of revelation. Play is one of the most beautiful forms of meditation. The selves occupied by speed and goals, the selves that experience indirectly as a spectator are doomed to go astray, to become horny, to have absurd religious and national dogmas, to be defined by the definitions that the system has positioned them in. To slow down the experience is to slow down the self. I never succumb to a half of myself that's a slave to an external discipline. Every time I feel defeated, I pick myself up. I know that emotions are transient and don't originate from my true self. Religious practices have taught me this because I don't perform them out of fear and lack. I do them voluntarily and with love. I have learned that worship is also a game, and a practice that makes life a game. I have learned that the roots of my arrogance, the swearing that proves my masculinity and commodifies women, and the origins of my hatred are my feelings of incompleteness and my hatred towards myself. If I'm to feel hatred and resentment, it must flow against those who oppress, those who exploit the oppressed, and nature, the capitalist system and its apparatuses.
They feed us to ourselves. Our lives are not our own. From womb to tomb, we are bound to others.
If I accept their morality and language in my own life, I become them. Oppressors don't know what play is. The oppressors take seriously a life that ends in death and suffocate it with discipline.
Truth is singular. Its versions are mistruths.
The God of the oppressors is as cruel as they are. As Nietzsche said, I only believe in a God who dances.